So the last few days in the land of Ark have seen me researching several different topics, one of which really shocked me. I've also been receiving DMs concerning a myriad of other happenings within the community, and as always, we've all been receiving blame and backlash. What's going on, everybody? It's LukeTheDuke and welcome back to the channel. So we're back in the land of Arkville, are we? Okay, well, it seems that Wildcard opted to not throw more gasoline on the raging, out-of-control forest fire they themselves created, and instead just opted to show off a new bug and some other minor items during last Friday's Community Crunch. And through all my years of covering different games and publishers, this is pretty much the new norm. Come out with an outlandish first offer, watch the community absolutely fucking explode, repackage the same offer to seemingly offer more value, claiming they've taken player feedback into account, as if that's actually a thing, and all the while, the new offer is more expensive than the first offer. And yeah, that's the recap, and you get the idea. And by the way, I still see people out there huffing the copium in large amounts, defending this new offer. And so for those of you that cannot handle being told the basics of the deals, I've prepared some slides for you, just in case you're a visual learner. But first, I've been spending some time trying to research Ark Survival Evolved itself, and trying to find definitive, up-to-date sales figures on this damn game is like looking for a needle in a stack of needles. Now, I'll explain why I'm looking for this in a moment, but I did find this Scoop Business article from August 2020 titled 5 Most Popular Games on Steam Generated Over $2 billion in Revenue. So, not completely up to date, and this only takes into account Steam, but it shows that Ark generated $270 million in revenue as of late 2020, essentially 5 years after going on sale on Steam in early access. This Kotaku article was able to view Snail Games' IPO, or initial public offering for the SEC, and according to this report, Sony paid $3.5 million so that they could offer up Ark for free to PlayStation Plus owners for a 5-week period. Microsoft also had skin in the game with $2.5 million in the first half of 2022 to bring Ark to Game Pass, plus another reported $2.3 million in a deferred revenue deal to bring Ark 2 to Game Pass when it launches. And to put this in perspective, Microsoft reported 25 million Game Pass subscribers as of the beginning of 2022, while Sony boasted 47.3 million PS Plus subscribers, opening up Snail, Wildcard, and the world of Ark to a massive swath of new and potential customers. Now, of course, both of these free versions did not include the expansion, so there is that income that I cannot account for, as players downloaded the free version, enjoyed it, and then hopefully decided to expand their experience with Ark. According to this Globe Newswire article from April 2022, so basically a year ago, since its launch in 2015, Ark Survival Evolved has sold over 30 million units on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and amassed more than 80 million players worldwide across all major gaming platforms, spurring spin-off games and amassing a huge following of passionate fans. Now, of course, this does not take into account Switch owners and those numbers and a myriad of other revenue streams. For instance, their actual Ark YouTube channel, which based on this StarStat breakdown, has earned nearly $1.1 million since it went live in May 2015. Just throwing some basic numbers around here, but what if those 30 million units sold on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation each spent on average, I don't know, $30 total on Ark? Now, I know many of you have spent triple or more than that, but let's be conservative here. $30 times 30 million units sold equals $900 million, plus the PlayStation Plus deal, plus the Game Pass deals, plus even that YouTube ad rev, and plus a bunch of other sources not mentioned here. And you can see that Ark Survival Evolved has hit it mega big. So why is all of this so important? Well, first off, the game itself only cost a mere fraction of what it's made. GamesIndustry.biz reported on this back in June 2015 in an interview with Jesse Rapsick, where he was quoted as saying, "It's too early to talk about profit since we still have a game to make and there are plenty of costs associated with all of that. but the revenue from the sales has already paid for the $1.5 million cost of development over the past 7 months. In another interview with VentureBeat.com, Rapsic was quoted as saying the game cost about $2 million to make. It took about 9 months development time before entering early access on Steam. Now, of course, there have been additional costs over the years, right? Servers, infrastructure, development time, and salaries to create the DLCs, etc. But, and by the way, this is extremely rudimentary math here, the game itself cost around $2 million to develop, and has taken in, based on that earlier example, maybe what, $900 million if every ARC player has spent just $30, plus the console store deals, plus the other streams of income. And this kind of brings me to the response I have for some of those comments I've been reading, blaming other community members and content creators for Wildcard's shitty bundle offers. Listen, ARC has made a ton of money over the years. From that $2 million initial development cost to potentially, what, near $1 billion in revenue since 2015? That's real money paid by gamers, ponying up their own cheddar to get the base game or the DLCs. And don't get me wrong here, they, Wildcard, are entitled to charge money for their product and reap the rewards of their efforts. I'm not saying they can't do that. But to see how much they have potentially made on this game, to see them tease a free UE5 upgrade, and then to see them hit the loyal ARC fanbase with a hook uppercut combo of taking away the advertised free upgrade, switching it over to an ARC Respawn bundle to the now more expensive ARC Survival Ascended bundle, it's just too much, man. Outside of ARC 2, which nobody has seen and current ARC players might not want based on the vague descriptions, and this upcoming Ascended DLC, which is slated to hit later this year, everything else they are offering you is content you have already paid for. Sure, it may look more shiny and bright once it goes through the internal mechanics of Unreal Engine 5, but it's the same maps, the same everything, now being paid for by current ARC owners and simultaneously shuttering official Survival Evolved servers. It's just ruthless. Anyways, let's move on. Now onto those visual breakdowns I promised concerning the 2 bundles already presented to the public, just in case the ether hasn't worn off yet, because spoiler alert, the second offer is actually worse. So, here we go. The ARC Respawn bundle, which is Ascended plus ARC 2. An ARC 2 you would not have been able to refund out of, but nevertheless, it's here for $49.99. DLCs are of course extra, so tack on $19.99 for the Explorer's Pass, plus another $19.99 for the Genesis Pass, and you're all in at $89.97 USD, so let's call it $90, with a few extras I'm going to touch on in a moment. For comparison, this latest offering is just Survival Ascended, including the DLCs. And if you want to purchase ARC 2 when it eventually launches, I'm guessing they're going to want to go full AAA retail price for it, so let's call it $60. All in, you're at $119.99. Now, both of these offers seem to exclude that hidden new paid expansion, which launches for ASA late this year, and if history holds true, is going to cost another $19.99. Also, all premium mods would now need to be purchased, pricing to be determined, with 50% of the revenue split going to the mod creator, the other 50% goes to Wildcard, and oh, by the way, the mod system is now moderated by Overwolf. Of course, the only exceptions I'm seeing to this math are those on Xbox Game Pass, which will be able to just purchase ASA, as ARC 2 would in theory be free to them day one on Game Pass. But remember, you're still paying for it just through your monthly subscription fees, so Wildcard and Stale are still getting you one way or another. But based on the slides I'm showing you, say if you're a PC player, you stand to pay $30 more now for this new offer, and of course have less choice as to what DLCs you actually want to purchase. So the final question is one of, what happened to all that ARC revenue? Now, some of it, of course, was spent through the years, right? Salaries, consumables, studio, equipment, R&D, but not the majority of it, which leads me back to, you guessed it, Snail Games, and the theory that they've just mismanaged and pissed it away on their crappy portfolio. Further reinforced by this write-up from Seeking Alpha, where they break down the overall strength of Snail Incorporated. And here's that bit of information that really shocked me. Listen to this. 90% of their revenue comes from one video game title, that being Ark. So then, all of Snail's other IP, those mobile titles, Atlas, etc., all of that only accounts for 10% of what Snail generates, which is probably why their stock is barely sitting at $1 a share. Quoting from that same article, given the dropping revenue and title concentration, I'm on hold, that's the author stating that, I'm on hold for the Snail IPO. And this is just me flinging some theories around here, but I think this is why Snail decided to get Wildcard to revert that free UE5 upgrade and instead charge all the money for it. They, meaning Snail, has simply pissed it away on failed projects. All that Ark income is drying up due to their shoddy mismanagement. The stock prices are tanking, investors are not happy, they're probably trying to pull out of this venture. So what does Snail do? They push the financial responsibilities back on the consumers, those same people that have already spent money on the initial game. Snail Games has already proven they are completely lacking in the ability to make sound financial decisions, so I would personally not give them another nickel until they make some serious corporate level reorganizations. If, however, you're still dead set on that UE5 upgrade, I would advise you to hold firm at $25 for everything in the ASA bundle, $30 max, with that late 2023 DLC offer to purchase at your discretion. As always, I look forward to reading your feedback concerning anything Ark related. If you happen to like the video, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. While you're at it, make sure to ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Remember, you can find and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and of course over in my open community Discord server, links to all of which can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. Shout out to the over 117,000 of you that have taken the leap and hit subscribe. And as always, a special thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.